I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. The Gospel says, "He who is faithful in small things is also faithful in great things, and who is unfaithful in small things is also unfaithful in great things." Faithfulness to one's word, one's promise, one's vow to God is not something to be taken for granted. We live in a time of massive infidelity. Contracts are broken, infidelity in marriage is not only practiced but even praised in public. Divorce rates are very high. Many men and women religious have abandoned their solemn lifelong commitment to God to embrace some form of social or political work. Fidelity is a virtue intimately linked to truthfulness. Its function is to incline a person to fulfill their promises. Truthfulness inclines him to conform his speech to the judgment of his mind, while fidelity disposes him to conform his works to his promises and vows. Even in the natural order, fidelity is a virtue, since it is truth in action. We are by nature social beings. This means in practice that we are dependent on each other. Therefore, we need to trust each other in order to build the necessary social units such as family, local community, state, church. If individuals are not trustful, trustworthy, and faithful to what they say and promise, then the entire social system begins to crack. Due to a lack of fidelity in our society, many of our most important institutions are rapidly collapsing. And the breakdown is affecting not only civil society, but also the church itself. When Catholics are unfaithful in marriage, unfaithful in business, unfaithful in religious life, unfaithful in the priesthood, the whole church suffers. Today, infidelity, rather than being the rare exception heard from somewhere far away, it's our permanent neighbor and too often a visitor in our own home. In the Old Testament, one of God's essential attributes is his faithfulness. He is called the Rock of Israel because of the truth of his words and the soundness of his promises. God's faithfulness surpasses the heavens and the clouds. The faithfulness of the Lord contrasts sharply with the infidelity of his chosen people. Abraham and Moses are models of faithfulness, but they too have their flaws. Perfect fidelity on this earth is found only in Jesus Christ, the faithful servant who remains constant and endures to the end. Loyalty cannot be taken for granted. It demands a constant fight against the evil one. That's why we pray, lead us not into temptation, a fight that requires vigilance and prayer. Witnessing others fall into sins of infidelity should not give rise to feelings of superiority. Rather, we should pray for them, humbly thank God for the grace He has given us, and strive above all to be faithful to God. Why? Because with God, we always win.